our mentorship classes for today. This is going to run for 3 months, as you know, for those that have really subscribed. It's why mentorship? Because I believe that we all need to be mentored. When you discover your life purpose, the next stage is what? Mentorship. You need to be mentored. Regardless of how great you are, we all need mentors in life. And one of the crises we have in Africa today is mentorship crisis. Most people cannot afford to be mentored. I've seen very many of us calling people mentors, our mentors, and yet we have never subjected ourselves to true learning from those individuals. You've not taken time to hear from them. You've not taken time to really go through what they went through to be where they are. So mentorship is paramount when it comes to those who really want to become great. And now we are progressing on what we've already been doing. We are continuing, and the topic today, we are handling the book called Knowing You. Remember, Knowing You.
Knowing you.
Knowing you is something very important, because if you don't know yourself, then you can never give yourself to others. In fact, the greatest gift you can ever give to humanity is a gift of authenticity, of being truthful to yourself. But if you're not truthful to yourself and you're trying to find other people the hope, that's fake identity, right? So I want you to just take 2 seconds and you ask your neighbor, do you know you?
Do you know you?
So, you know, someone is cheating someone, because this one, I think this one belongs, this one belongs, this one belongs. Hey, then, oh my God, we cannot be shared, right? So knowing ourselves is very important, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important. And Africa must wake up to know who we are. So Purpose Africa is here to really make that possible, for people to know who they are. Now, there are some very many benefits of knowing who they are, and I want to know maybe from you. The moment you know who you are, you're going to discover your potential, and then you're going to become what? Alive. Is it possible that those who have not known who they are still there? That's a question maybe to the audience. Maybe, what about you? Why do you think people should know who they are?
You can create something that no one else can copy, because it's you, it's coming from the bottom of your heart, it's your soul, it's your blood, sweat and tears. So it's you, actually, you're putting yourself out there. And everyone, since everyone is like unique, there is no one can copy you, there is no one can be you. So yeah, put out authenticity in our
Let's clap for her. That's amazing. You know what? She's talking about something very important. Could it be the reason why we don't see many brands in Africa? Because,
for example, you might be working in something but you don't have the passion for it. That's that. Just for example, let me say I want to be a pilot. I'm forced to do something I don't want to do in life. That means I'm moving in a wrong trail. That's that. And nobody else people don't succeed in that, because they end up doing the wrong thing. They're not passionate. That's why normally people who are passionate succeed a lot, because they love what they do. There's something that we call you have to have fun in your workplace.
Fun in your workplace.
If you don't have fun, then...
So are you saying, is saying something very important. Did you hear that? That when you discover who you are, then you've discovered your passion, right? Passion becomes the source of fun in what you're doing. That's important. And how many people that are in Uganda today and they hate what they're doing? There are very many people. People wake up every morning to the jobs they hate. Why? Because they never taken time to discover who they are so that they do what they love. How to turn passion into business. So when you discover who you are, you have discovered, of course, your life purpose. Your life purpose becomes the source of what? Vision. Vision becomes the source of what? Passion. That's the inner conviction that is produced when you know what you want to do with your life, and that inner conviction cannot be stopped. You can do anything with it, right? Maybe, Francis, I know you've been doing great work, you're a great man, and how have you managed?
Probably discovering who you are. One, it helps you to cease to be a burden to others.
Well, let us clap for that. That's a very wonderful. We have very many Africans who have become burdens to us. You mean, it's because they have not discovered who they are?
Exactly.
Wow.
Just like an example of a football team. Each person has a specific number they're supposed to play. The moment you go out of your number the coach has trained you for, of course you're going to cause a loss to the whole team. So you become a burden and you make losses for the whole team. So the moment you discover who you are, you become, someone any person can accept in their society, in their environment. People who have become, so hard to deal with, so heavy to carry, are the people who have never discovered who they are, and that is very important. So we have so many burdensome people in our communities, in organizations, in families. Should a young lady get married before she discovers who she is, she'll become automatically a burden not only to her husband, but also to her in-laws. So it is very dangerous.
Wow. Did you hear that, guys?
Yeah.
So I'm discovering new things because we see a lot of burdens, we see a lot of failures in our environment. No, sometimes not that people don't want to succeed, but they're not taking time to discover who they are, and that makes them to become burdened, indirectly or directly, right? Even with a lot of money, power, position, fame, and possessions, it is possible to feel like life is empty. Sometimes people think like having a lot of money is going to bring meaning to your life. You can have money and you're the most empty person in this world. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
We've seen the people with money, but they feel like, wow. We've seen people committing suicide, yet they have millions on their bank accounts. Have we seen that? So why would someone commit suicide with a lot of money, with a lot of possession, with a lot of property? The person has failed to find a meaning for life. When the meaning is lost, life is lost. So searching for meaning becomes so powerful. So sometimes when we go through a lot of troubles and suffering, life can still carry meaning through experiences. So take a look at these statements made by great people as described. Now, these are some of the statements made by people. Some people believe that life is a road to domination. How many believe that? That life is a road to domination? Because I think from the beginning, God created us for dominion, right? So our life is a true definition of dominion. Genesis chapter 1:26. So life is a drama. How many believe that? That life is a drama? Is it a drama? Oh, okay. I don't know, but to me, I'm not there. I don't want to pray in my own life. This is not the life is love. How many believe that?
Yes.
It's true. That's one of them, I think, most powerful there. Number 7, life is work. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Of course. Number 7, I think, or 8, life is creativity. So, do we believe that life should be creativity?
Yes.
Okay. Life is a path to death. Someone believe that? You can't get out of life lying, right? The moment you are lying, then you're in the path to death. I think it's true. To an extent. So, this is for me. I say life is life. I really believe that life is life. Life is life, right? Life is life. And then I say life is time and time is life. Those two really are from Mr. Papa himself. Life is life and life is time and time is life. Because when I look at that, every day that we passes by, you are spending part of your life. What we call time is part of your life. We live life in doses. We live life in minutes. So whenever you're spending your time, you're spending your life. The spending of time is the spending of what? Life. Are you with me? So I really believe. So we have questions for reflection that follows, and maybe you're going to take time to write which of the statements above about life do you agree with and why? Which of those statements above do you agree with? So, you will tell me. Then number 2 is, are there some you don't like? Are there some of the statements you don't like? I believe, to me, personally, there are some I don't like. You put them down. And then, number 3 will be something very important. What is your personal definition of life? What is your personal definition of life? So, very important, your personal definition of life. Number 4, it says, what does that definition say about you? and how do you see yourself? So how does that definition about life say about you? Because whatever definition you come up with says a lot about you. It says a lot about you. If you say that life is time and time is life, then to me that statement tells me a lot about that person. That person is so much interested in his time. You cannot cheat his time. You cannot take even 10 minutes of that person's time, because you know that each and every minute he spends, he has spent his life. So a statement about you or about your life will really become a guiding weapon to you and to others. If you have finished that, can we go to number 5? Number 5 says, is there meaning in suffering? How many of you believe that in suffering there is a meaning? Do you believe in suffering there is a meaning? You're right. What could be some of the meaning that we can get from suffering? Or what's the importance of suffering to individuals? Who should I start with? Anne, could I start with you? Yeah.
I believe that there's meaning suffering in life, because once someone is subjected to these hardships in life, they are able to, I believe in God.
Okay.
Yes, I believe in God. And I believe that every situation that we go through is a wave, there's a wave, there's a step to it. So whenever we go through these challenges, this suffering that we call it, it's always going to build our faith. It's going to draw us closer to God. It's going to bring us into the light again. That's how I believe.
Wow,
Suffering can bring meaning.
she's a statement I can pick from whatever you said, that suffering builds faith. How many of you believe that? Suffering builds faith, right? In fact, even the Bible says that the testing of your faith produces what? Endurance. I'm looking at that. So by the way, that some people have passed through a lot that you can no longer intimidate them, because their faith is so strong. It has been built through adversities. I want to ask you, let's say an army of a nation that has been always in battle and an army of a nation that has never fought. Which army would you trust?
The one which has been in battle.
It has been in battle. Why? Because being in battle means a lot. Time reaches when for sure you gain experience on how to fight battles. I'm not saying you should go and invite suffering. I'm not saying that go and create your own trouble so that you what? You become powerful. I mean those natural things that happen to us without our control. Are with me?
Yes.
But what could be another thing that we can get from suffering?
I believe that, there are times where we just live, but I believe that suffering is the thing that will bring us to ourselves, actually, to search, to go deep into things. When things go wrong, then we discover ourselves like, what is to do? So it brings suffering. One of the things I see in my life actually is it brings me to search deep into myself, self-reflection. I reflect into things, then I go, sometimes we just go missing because we didn't actually concentrate. So suffering brings concentration, searching myself about conviction, about God, about other people. Then I try also to know people who are suffering.
I understand you suffered one time as a hawker
Yes.
on the streets of Kampala, this after campus. And you suffered a lot to the extent that even they locked you in because by law you're not supposed to hawk. And you had to hawk.
Yes.
And you ended up being in prison.
Yes.
And you said because of that you ended up writing a very powerful book that's already on Amazon.
Yes.
So what lesson did you pick from that suffering?
Yes, I picked to just to know the other kind of life, the other people on the other side. Because you know, when you grow, when you're young, you think like life is just a walkover. But I tried, when I suffered by then, I tried to see other people, like my life in other people who are suffering. And then it brought me back actually to my purpose of life, to live for other people, to create a way and bridges for other people. How can you, because I believe that things we pass through, even suffering, some of them, they are God's way to create ways for other people. So you cannot solve a problem which you have not passed through. Yes,
That brings authenticity.
yes, most of these things that we are passing through, some of these things are not actually for us. Yes, some testing, even I think Romans 5, yes, it says these sufferings we're passing through, they are there to bring actually ourselves to a real hope. And this hope through suffering, patience, endurance, and this will create hope. And this hope is tested hope, which does not disappoint.
Oh, wow, I love that scripture. I'm going to read it immediately.
Yes.
So I want to look into the camera and speak to somebody who is out there and who is feeling that suffering has come to end his or her life. What message do you have?
I believe that suffering is not there to end your life, but I believe that life sufferings, they are tests of your faith, of your belief, even to create some kind of patience, because out of suffering you endure. It brings patience and endurance. And life, of course, is sometimes tough. We pass through things and this and that, but the sufferings you are passing through, it could be a testimony, because I believe that every person has a story. And so you cannot, if you don't love that story of yours, if you don't have a story, because that story that connects to other people's story. So you cannot make impact when you don't have a story that connects to other people. So those things that you are passing through, maybe you may see in a negative way, but if you could change the perspective and you see to a positive side, you believe you see that the things you are passing through, the kind of things that the story that you've created that is not maybe positive, it is there to give you a view, even an outlet for other people to get through that story.
That's powerful. Dale,
Yes.
have you ever suffered?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
In 30 seconds, can you tell me about your suffering?
Well, my suffering was in 2015 when I actually lost my dad, because he died in my arms. But there is something that he told me before he passed on. He gave me a speech and he told me that I will not be here forever, but one thing I can tell you is that right now you should know that you are your own man. One thing I learned from suffering is that suffering, it is just a test, yes? And on top of that, it catapults you to the next level. Because suffering helps to refine a person. It shapes you into something that is unimaginable. Because just look at how diamonds are created. They're created under pressure. At first, diamond is just normal fossils, dead bodies and all that. Look at gold. Gold is it's purified using fire, using a furnace. You get, so I believe when someone overcomes their suffering, trust me, the person they emerge as on the other side is far greater than the person they were before.
How did you feel after the passing of your dad?
Well, because he made me know that this is something that is unavoidable. He made me aware that this is something that you cannot escape from. That made me understand that the only thing I can do is actually to become a man and trust the process, walk through it, and trust the person I'm going to become on the other side.
And who are you now?
Right now I'm a man of myself. I can take care of myself. I can stand up to the pains of the world, because that was one of my biggest fears. I thought it would end me, but it wasn't the end of life. It was just a small bump on the road. I know there's more suffering ahead, but I know I can take it.
Wow, that's powerful. Bala, have you ever suffered?
Yeah, my father was poor, my mom was poor. I know my siblings. But the time I was growing up, I discovered that this is the main thing. Why my parents were not rich? That's what it triggered my mind. One, that I can change it. I can change this. I can change from poor to becoming rich. Because it is genetic. Being poor is genetic. But if you decide not to become poor,
is it proven to be genetic, really? Yeah. I don't know if
no. Being poor, it's genetic. But if you can decide to, for example,
you can reverse the gene.
Yeah, you can reverse the gene.
I don't know much about that.
Yeah,
we need to ask the scientist. Is poverty genetic or not?
Yeah. If my parents are poor, then I cannot become poor. That's why right now I'm building my success from being poor to becoming rich. But you can change from now. If you are poor, you can change.
You told me that you are raised by a single mother.
Yeah, but I was raised from.
And you used to feel so bad when your mother could tell you about stuff like she brings you a cake, she wants you to share, and you could feel bad to share, right?
Yeah, I was feeling bad.
And today you told me you are feeling a sense of meaning in sharing, right?
Yeah.
So how do you feel when you share today?
When I feel marvelous, good when I share something to my friends.
So which message do you have for people who are so mean in life?
If you are so mean in life, you will never get out of life.
Wow, that's a powerful statement to end there, right? Ladies and gentlemen, this was powerful. This is an amazing session. And I believe that we are learning a lot from this. And people out there, they're also learning a lot from this. Wherever you will watch it, it could be YouTube, it could be where. Trust me, you could take a chance to be part of this very session. And by coming Purpose Africa, if you want to be part of this, we shall tell you how you can be part of this powerful mentorship session and our TV program that is yet to start, that will be full of that kind of interaction. You can subscribe to Purpose Africa TV on YouTube to watch most of the things, and you can also like our page on Facebook, Purpose Africa. You can follow, or you go on our website, www.purposeafrica.org, and guess what? You're going to learn a lot. We are here to transform this generation. Do you believe that, guys?
Yes.
Wow, so I just want you to bring that excitement as we say bye-bye to people who are live right now to this broadcast. Hey guys, we say bye. We have been so happy speaking to you. We are live here at Purpose Africa Mentorship, and we hope you discover who you are. Thank you.